What's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the inside of my trampoline park. This is the second of two tutorials, and in the first one, we completed the outside of the trampoline park. It looks exactly like the big giant purple and yellow building that we have on the screen. If you haven't yet made the actual building portion, which is part 1, then you can find it in both the card system and in the description below. You'll quite clearly be able to find it there. It will probably take you anywhere between half an hour and 40 minutes to make this, and once you've built it, you can come back and you can work on the inside of the building with the rest of us if you so choose. Do remember that if you like this video, please give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. Comment down below what else would you like to see next. Subscribe for more. If you do make it, show me a picture of it. Follow me on Twitter at TSMC360 and check out the cards and the description for not only part 1, because this is part 2 of 2, then you can also find other tutorials which kind of look like the things around us in the cards and the description below, other than just part 1 of this. So, to make the inside, here's what you're going to need. Grab yourself some yellow hardened clay, some blue hardened clay, some cyan hardened clay, some pillar quartz block, some dark oak fence, some dark oak stairs, some dark oak slabs, some block of quartz, and some redstone lamps. Plus, we'll need everything else that you can see in the inventory, and we will need even more. We will need loads more than what we have here. This is just what we are starting out with. So this is what we ended up with in part 1. We have the entire inside of the trampoline park, plus we have hollowed out the floor. We have dug down by 1 row. What we now have to do is this. So, we're going to just, at the entrance, we're going to fill in these 3 blocks with yellow stained clay. Because why not? Or purple, it's completely up to you. I call the blue hardened clay purple clay because it looks purple. What we now want to do is we want to take out the cyan hardened clay, and coming from behind the center block of the entrance, this 3rd yellow clay that we've just used to fill in the gap in the entrance, we want to come behind this and we want to do a row of 11 cyan stained clay coming back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We then want to take this 11th block and we want to move it towards the left of the warehouse by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take that 8th block, extend it all the way to the front of the park by 1. Extend it all the way to the back of the park until it hits the back of the park, and also extend it to the sides of the park. You want to extend it to the very left hand side, but what you also want to do is you want to take this 11th block, this one that we just extended on all different ways that way. We want to take it, we want to extend it all the way to the very back of the trampoline warehouse where our park is housed, and we want to extend it all the way to the right, and this will divide up our trampoline park into some very clear sections. What we now want to do is this. We want to take out the pillar quartz block, and we want to do a pillar quartz block on the insides of the cyan stained / cyan hardened clay. I swear it used to be cyan stained clay. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it was never stained clay and I just imagined it. But hey, you want to use the pillar quartz block alongside the cyan clay, and you just want to, it basically, all of this does, is it just provides some very clear pathways to some attractions that you would find in the trampoline park. So it just leads you to where the basketball part is, and it leads you to where all of the freestanding trampolines are, and it leads you to where the stairs are to take you to the 2nd floor, and it takes you to all of the different sections in a really nice and clear way, and that's what we're doing here. And it also makes the tutorial nice and easy because it also lays out where we're going to be building all of this stuff as well. So we want to have something which should look like that. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to determine where the 2nd floor of the park is. So the 2nd floor of the park is easily found by coming to the entrance. Where we have this yellow hardened clay entrance, we take the top right hand corner block, which is this. We want to move up from this corner block and we want to find the 4th purple clay. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's the 4th clay. I'm going to count that out again just to make sure I'm right. And I'll use a different clay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm then going to move right by 1. And then I'm going to take this yellow clay and I'm going to extend it all the way back. I'm going to extend it all the way to the very back of the trampoline park to give us something that should look a little bit, let me destroy the 4 guiding clays, to give us something which should look like this. What we now have to do is we just have to fill in this area between the yellow hardened clay and the left-hand wall. This is going to be where this is going to be the second floor. And you know what, actually, we will actually leave it for a moment. We won't fill it in because it's going to make it dark if we do that. And I'd rather it be light. We'll fill the second floor in when we have to. But what we are also going to do, whilst we are doing this kind of stuff, is we're going to come all the way over to the right-hand side of our park. And what we want to do on this side of our trampoline park is we want to take out our oak wood planks and we want to go up on top of the cyan stained clay that touches the wall, and we want to go up on top of this by 4 with our oak wood planks. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We then want to take that 4th block and we want to extend it all the way towards the front of the build, and we want to extend it all the way to the back of the build, like this. Then what we want to do is left and right in front of this row of 4 oak wood planks, we want to do rows of 4 pillar quartz block. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, like this. What we now want to do is we want to do a row of yellow stained clay to the left of this row of 4, the left-hand row of 4. We want to extend this yellow stained clay all the way over to the left, leaving a gap of 1 between the wall. And then we want to extend this yellow stained clay towards the left-hand side, towards the middle of the warehouse by 1. Then go up on top of that block by 1. Then do an up left diagonal going towards the center of the warehouse. Go left by 1. Then go up by 1. And then go left until you connect all the way over to the second floor of the warehouse. This is going to provide us a couple of things. This is going to give us a little bit of a better jumping point onto the trampolines, but it is also supposed to be a really cool and fun way to get up to the second floor as well. We now want to add stairs to this, and we also want to make it look a bit nicer. So I'm going to grab some oak wood stairs because I think that they would look the best, and I'm going to place oak wood stairs next to the yellow stained clay, like that. I'm then going to place then I'm going to take out the oak wood planks again, and I'm going to run a row of oak wood planks that comes all the way towards the back here, and it is going to connect to the second floor here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I kind of like the mix between the oak and the clay. I'm also just going to place oak wood plank anywhere that we would need to walk, and now I'm just going to place some blue hardened clay underneath each one of these stairs in such a way that it looks very intentional that we placed it, so kind of like this. And I might even add another layer to this. I might even add another layer of blue hardened clay just so that it looks a little bit nicer. Yeah, that looks great to me. Okay, now that we've done that, what we now want to do is we just want to fill in underneath where we have the yellow stained clay here. We want to fill in underneath this wall with blue clay. So just fill it in, fill the underneath of this in with blue clay, and just extend it all the way to the back wall like that. So we just want to smooth off that wall like such. Yeah, that looks fine. We might even want to also add an extra yellow clay in here just so that that looks a little bit better as well. We also need the quartz slabs, and we're going to add a row of quartz slabs starting from on top of each one of the pillar quartz blocks, and they are going to come all the way up on top of the yellow stained clay that we have here that circles around the walkway. And we also want the quartz slabs to come all the way around on top of the yellow stained clay of the second floor too. Plus, we're going to, on top of this right-hand pillar quartz block, we're going to place a quartz slab, and we'll extend it all the way over to the right, all the way to the front of the build. We'll also need ourselves some ladders, because that is how we're going to get from one floor to another. And there we go. Now we have where the second floor is going to go. We have the walkway, and now it's time for us to build the entrance. So we have an entrance to our trampoline park. First, I should tell you where it is. So the entrance to the trampoline park, like as you walk in and to the left, we have a desk, and that's where you buy the socks, that's where you put all of your stuff, that's where you keep your stuff in lockers. It's right to the left as you walk in. We're going to fill the bottom of it in, which is this little section, just this little rectangular section, very small. We're going to fill this in with a block of quartz, as you can see me doing now. Like I said, this is like the help desk, this is where you'd pay, this is where you keep your stuff, this is where you'd get those fancy socks. This is the area. We're now going to take out the blue hardened clay, and coming all the way to this end back block of quartz, so like this one right here, closest to the front left hand corner of the build, we want to do a row of blue hardened clay that comes all the way from the front wall all the way to the side towards the middle. We then want to take that last blue hardened clay sat inside the block of quartz, and we want to extend it forwards by 1. Leave a gap of 1. Place another blue hardened clay and extend it towards the wall, like that. We then want to, starting from on top of the first blue hardened clay that we placed, we want to place a yellow clay. Leave a gap of 1, place a clay. 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 Extend that last clay forwards. We now want to do a row of blue hardened clay in front of that row of blue hardened clay that we've just made, and we want to extend each one of those yellow hardened clays up front by 1. Place a row of blue hardened clay in between the back row of the yellow hardened clay, like this, and then place some redstone lamps on top of the outer front yellow hardened clays, like this. And you know what we might do is we might add back here some lockers. So we're going to add rows of 2 cyan hardened clay just behind the rows of blue hardened clay just round the back here. We're going to add those, or actually we'll add them behind the yellow and behind the blue, like the yellow and blue clay mixers. There we go. And we'll add some buttons in front of each one of these, and these will be lockers, and these can either act as actual proper lockers, or you can just have them kind of like they're more rarely for us, they're just aesthetic. You don't have to have them aesthetic. If you want, you could easily use some chests to actually make it as though that they're actually like proper lockers, if you like, and still keep the aesthetic of the bottom block. What we're now going to do is we are going to place chests in between the yellow stained clays on the front, just below the lamps. We're going to do a row of blue hardened clay just behind the lamps on top of that multicolored row, like this. We're now going to place item frames with diamond boots, or any kind of boots, it doesn't really matter, above the item frames, because these are going to kind of act as the socks that you would buy. There we are. We're also going to need to use our dark oak wood stairs and our dark oak wood slabs, and we'll also need the dark oak wood fence and even some sea lanterns for this next part, because we're going to add a nice little something a little bit interesting above this. So we're going to, starting from half a row above where the lamps are, in a line with the end of the desk, this blue hardened clay, we're going to do a row of dark oak wood slabs that goes all the way around the edge here, that goes all the way around the edge of the top of this little welcome area. So it wants to go all the way around and connect to the wall, like that. We're going to do a row of sea lanterns above the regular actual redstone lamps. We're going to do dark oak wood stairs, regular facing ones, in front of and behind the sea lanterns. This is going to give an interesting shape to the desk, and it's also going to provide some light and cover up the lanterns. Place dark oak wood fence on the back corner and the front right hand corner of the little desk slash kiosk slash whatever you want to call this. Also, grab yourself some quartz stairs, some flower pots, some poppies, and grab yourself some buttons. Place buttons in between the chests on the outer facing yellow stained clays. add a nice flower on the edge of the welcome desk. Also add 2 cash registers, equal apart from each other. So maybe like here and maybe like, will here also work? Are they far enough apart? Yeah, they are, perfect. Also, add yourself some, add a wooden trapdoor. I'm keeping my socks on, by the way. We have to around the trampolines. We've added a trapdoor here just so that nobody can just walk in and out of the desk. If you want to make the desk look perhaps just slightly more interesting, and this might not make it look any more interesting, you may want to add some signs going around the front of the desk. If you think that that might be an aesthetic that you like, just to make it a bit more interesting. I personally like it just plain and purple, but I'm not going to change that now. We also have to find a way to light up these lamps. So there's a variety of ways to do this. I don't really like doing this, but you can knock out behind the lamps like this, and you could just like place levers behind this. That's a perfect option. You can have them all lit up like that. Or alternatively, you could use glowstone, although it doesn't look that good, and you could add wooden trapdoors to the front to kind of suppress it a little bit. But that's how I'm lighting these up. I wish there was a better way. I wish I could think of a cleverer way to do this. Once you've got that taken care of, that's the nice little welcome entrance, we're going to come to this back corner. So just behind the welcome entrance. This is going to be the area where we have the stairs that lead us up to the second floor. You know what, actually, it's a bit silly for us to be doing this because we'd need the second floor in place. So I'll tell you what, we won't do that just yet. We'll take care of this part. So these 2 attractions here, just on the left-hand side of your trampoline park, this smaller one is a basketball, like a little basketball game that you can play, like you like jump on the trampoline, you jump over an obstacle, you dunk basketball. To make this, we're going to need quite a few materials. I'll grab all of them and then I'll be back to you. So to make this little area, we need some red hardened clay, some yellow hardened clay, some cyan hardened clay, some block of quartz, some web, some oak wood plank, some orange wool, some black carpet, some slime block, some grey carpet, and some blue wool. But we'll start with what we can actually carry. To begin with, we're just going to do a row of red hardened clay that comes all the way across the left hand side of this, across the front, and across the right hand side, like so. We want to do 2 rows of oak wood planks right at the back and right at the front, coming in towards the center of this little particular part. We then want to do 2 rows of slime block coming from the front towards the back. So 1 row of slime and 2 rows of slime, like that. We now want to do a nice little mishmash of blue wool and orange wool in the ground. If you've ever been to one of these things, a lot of the foam, for some reason, seems to be orange and it seems to be blue. So we're kind of keeping that tradition going right here. Make it look a little something like that. Then we're going to add a row of yellow hardened clay on top of the second row of slime. We're going to place an orange wool right here in the front center actual oak wood plank. We're going to come all the way towards the back. We're going to begin with a row of 2 cyan hardened clay coming up from the back center oak wood plank. Then we're going to place a quartz block on top, extend it left and right by 1, do a row on top. We're going to take the bottom 2 corners of the quartz block, we're going to extend them forwards each by 1 with the red hardened clay. We're going to do 1 in between them coming out diagonally, and we're going to do a web underneath the center empty block. Wonderful. We're now going to do a grey carpet on top of the slime, and that is going to be the nice little basketball attraction. If you want to make the basketball look ever so slightly more basketball-ish, maybe put a black carpet on it, maybe don't. You don't really need it. And that's a nice little basketball game. Of course, it's not animated, you can't actually throw it, but it is a nice looking addition to this place. Now, once you've got that taken care of, we can now move on to the next part, which is right next to the basketball. Take out your yellow hardened clay. Do a row of yellow hardened clay that goes all the way around the inside of this empty rectangular portion of the trampoline park. Like that. Then split it up the... Actually, no, we won't do that. Then, beginning from the end here, we want to have another mishmash. We want to have a mishmash of orange wool and blue wool, and we only want to have 4 rows of it. So it wants to come out about as far as here, and we just want to have the mishmash of blocks that kind of looks like the foam that you can like jump and land in, and everything's going to be okay. That's what we're looking for. So we just want to add all of this, and there we are. We want to, with our yellow hardened clay, then do a row behind the mishmash of orange and blue. We want to split that up the middle with a row of yellow hardened clay like this. We then want to cut this area in half that we have just split up the middle, so we have 4 even sections of 2x2 empty space. We then want to place slime in the empty sections of 2x2 empty space, each one of the 4 like this. We want to place yellow hardened clay in between the 2 sections of slime, just in the middle of front to back. We don't want to connect them in the center like that. We want to leave that empty. We're now at the very end here going to want to take the 2 empty corner, the 2 corner end yellow stained clay blocks. We want to extend them up each by 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Connect them together at the top. Now all we have to do is we just have to, with our grey carpet, and we'll also need some grey wool for this, we want to fill in the slime blocks with grey carpet. Anytime you see grey carpet in here, it usually means that you can bounce on it. Plus, we're going to add grey wool here to the side trampoline that doesn't actually work, unfortunately, but it'd be cool if it did, if you could just kind of like bounce back. Now we're just going to jump on this, and we can, well, theoretically we can, if you made it a little bit bigger, you can jump straight over this and you can land in that nice little foam pit. So, those are the 2 attractions that you have kind of like down here. Now we can safely do the stairs, because it's about to get quite dark down here, and that's why I wanted to get this taken care of first. So for the stairs area, we want to begin by doing a row of oak wood planks. We want to completely fill this area just behind the little welcome desk in with oak wood planks. It shouldn't take too long. It does take a minute or 2, but it shouldn't take too long. By a minute or 2, I really do mean anywhere between 10 and 20 seconds. There we go, wonderful. Now that that is done, what we now want to do is this. We want to take out our... You know what? Let me dump some materials and let me show you what you need. Okay, so this should be the majority of what we need. We're going to begin with our quartz slab, and we want to take out our quartz slab, and we want to start with the front left-hand corner as we look at it now, oak wood plank block. We want to run a row of quartz slabs that come all the way to the left-hand wall of the trampoline park. Extend it all the way over to the right until you reach the end of the oak wood. Then extend this block forward by 4, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 with your slabs. Extend it all the way over to the left, and you also want to extend it over to the left by 4 as well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend it forward by 2, 1, 2. Extend that block inwards by 1, leave a gap of 1, also extend the other block inwards as well. This is where the stairs are going to fit into. We do not want to place the stairs right here in the center. We want to place one just behind it, right here. Then the stairs function like this. We want to do then 2 stairs coming up diagonally, and we want to place sea lanterns behind the stairs, like that. Then we want to place a quartz block behind the 3rd stairs, and then we want to begin going in another direction. So place a sea lantern going behind that quartz block, and then place quartz stairs again. And we're going to need to do 4 in total. So that's 1, 2, 3, and that will be 4. What we can now do is we can fill in the entire second floor with our blue hardened clay. This is where the second floor is going to be. This is where all of the stuff that we have up here is going to be. It's actually really easy to make, and it might be the next thing that we actually do. We might complete the stairs, get this done, and then we can do the rest of the downstairs. And you would be surprised how easy everything else is, and how little time it's going to take as well. Because all of the difficult stuff has really been done, and once this floor's been put in, we really only do have some very, very simple things to add. So just continue filling this in. You're going to want to eventually stop when you're going to want to leave a bit of space around the stairs, like when you eventually find them where only one row off. So leave the stairs alone, like that row. You can fill behind them in, obviously, but just leave like the portion between the like face of the stairs and the actual wall alone. We'll fill that in a little bit later. We'll figure out how much room we need and just continue filling in the rest of the floor. This has taken a while, actually. I forgot how big the second floor actually is. We've actually got quite a lot of stuffed up here, haven't we? But there we go, wonderful. Then take out your yellow hardened clay. Now we just have to figure out how much room we actually need to walk down these stairs. So we need more room than this. And we have enough room that actually, you know what we might do? We might leave this open. We might do a nice little yellow stained clay border going all the way around the top of the stairs, and we might fill most of the top of the stairs in with a glass, and that might actually look quite nice. There we are, that looks better. Now what we want to do is we just want to build a nice little glass, just basically like a little glass protector around the stairs now. So inside of the quartz slabs that you have down at the base here, just fill in the staircase with glass block, and you can also shape it if you like, but I'm going to begin by filling in the entire area here with glass block. So I'm just going to fill all of this in. I'm going to extend it all the way up to the top of the ceiling, and then if I so choose, which I might not actually, I might leave it like this. I don't think I actually want to shape it. I think I kind of like the idea of it coming all the way up. I kind of like the idea of it being enclosed, to be honest. I like that. You guys might not. You guys might want to shape it around the stairs, like you might want to have it in such a fashion that it kind of like follows along the stairs, like kind of like that, you know, like all the way up. But I think I'm just going to keep it enclosed like that. I quite like it, what can I say? So I'm just going to fill this in with the glass block, and we've just got that row to fill in as well. And that is all she wrote for the stairs. Wonderful. Now, the only thing you might want to do down here now, as you might notice, is a little bit dark, where we have these two little attractions, where we have the basketball, where we have this part. So you might want to add some sea lanterns above each one of these things. You might want to add some sea lanterns equally, so right in the center is actually pretty good, and you might want to have them so that they are like an equal distance from the wall. And yeah, so an equal distance from the wall, that being 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks from the wall, and you might want it have to be an equal distance away from the edge as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4 would be there, and you may just want to add some even lighting here. It looks quite nice. It looks quite modern. It doesn't interfere with anybody's view. You might want to add that. You might want to add bigger lighting or smaller. I'm going to do the same sort of thing here. I'm going to start it in roughly the same place, and it wants to be right up the middle here, which would be this block, and it wants to be 4 blocks away from the wall, and I also want it to be 4 blocks away from, yeah, there we go, I'm 4 blocks away from the end. So this will keep things nice and lit. You can also add some more lighting to the ends if you want, like if you want to add some to the wall, but I kind of like it being ever so slightly darker. Add more, add less, kind of up to you. Once you've got that taken care of, we can move all the way up to the second floor. On the second floor, we'll need a whole host of materials. Let me grab them for you. Okay, so for this next part, we'll need some oak wood stairs, some oak wood planks, some yellow hardened clay, some red hardened clay, some sea lanterns, some slime blocks, some grey carpet, orange wool, blue wool, and we also need lime hardened clay, oak fence, black stained glass pane, yellow carpet, and some grey wool. Now, once you have each one of these, we can begin on the second floor, and it shouldn't hopefully take us very long. So in the very back left-hand corner of our trampoline park, we want to have a row of 3 oak wood planks coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3. Coming in front of this, diagonally, we want a row of 3 yellow hardened clay. 1, 2, 3. We want to take that yellow hardened clay and we want to extend it forwards by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to extend it to the right by 4 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to connect it to the ground diagonally, which is becoming kind of complicated, but it wants to look a little something like that. And we want to do the same thing on the opposite side as well, like that. What we now want to do once we've placed the yellow stained clay is we want to place oakwood stairs running up the sides of what we've just made. So running upwards the diagonal yellow hardened clay, we want to have 3 oakwood stairs like that. We want to connect them together in the corner with oakwood planks, like so. We want to fill in the back portion of this. So just underneath the stairs, we want to do rows of blue hardened clay, like this. So we just want to fill that in like that. We want to do 2 rows of sea lanterns, just connecting the outer yellow clays to the center yellow clay, like this. We then want to connect the outer bottom diagonal yellow clays together with a row of red hardened clay, right in the corner, like that. We want to form an L shape or a right angle. We then, right in the very center, want to have some slime. So we want to have a 3x3 square of slime. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right in the center, leaving 2 rows all the way around the slime. Place grey carpet on the slime. Everywhere we have grey carpet, you can pretty much bounce on it. We're going to want to then do our regular blue and orange foam that kind of surrounds the pit that we've just made. So we're just going to place that all the way around this. Everywhere we want to raise it up a little bit, have it looking nice. And now we just have a place that we can climb up. We can get a bit more of a, well, I'm flying. You can't get more of a bounce than that, but climb up, get a bit more of a bounce. Pretty nice. The next thing we're going to do up here is going to involve this area. So where the edge of the second floor connects to the front wall, which is where we want to be, we want to leave a gap of 2 from this quartz slab, and we want to leave a gap of 2, and on this third block we actually want to place ourselves a lime hardened clay. We want to extend that lime hardened clay towards the back wall by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. We then want to extend that clay backwards by 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend it all the way back to the wall and also connect it all the way back to where you first started, like that. Split this shape in the middle with a row of green clay. You then want to do slime in these 2 long rectangular shapes that we now have. So just do slime all the way in the center of these shapes, like this. You want to take the end of the shape, the part that hits the wall, and you want to extend it up by 4. You want to take the 2 ends, including the middle, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you want to do the same for the center block, and you want to do the same for the end block. Connect them all up like that. We now want to take this row of green clay, this end row of green clay, and we want to take out now our oakwood stairs, and we want to place an oakwood stair here. So we want to place an oakwood stair here in front of this end clay. And we then want to do 2 more oakwood stairs coming up diagonally in this fashion, so like we can walk up them. We then want to do a row of 3 oakwood planks behind that last stair. 1, 2, 3. Place a lime hardened clay behind it and connect it down to the ground. We now want to do rows of green hardened clay in front of the stairs. However, we don't want to cover up everything. Like, we don't want to cover up everything. Although, you know what? I kind of like it like that. You know what? I kind of like that. Never mind. So we can now box this in, and we can kind of just have some lime clay kind of like this. So all this is basically so we can climb up here and we can jump over some obstacles, which we're now about to make. So we're now just going to need the oak fence. We'll also need ourselves some yellow carpet, and we also need our old friend the grey carpet, and we need grey wool. Fill in the ends, the part at the wall, with grey wool, like that. With your yellow hardened clay, you want to find the center blocks here, and you want to place yellow hardened clay on top of the center slimes. Place yellow carpet next to the yellow clay on the floor. Then place grey carpet everywhere else on top of the slimes. This is once again to have just, of course, just conceal the slimes, and that is our bounce place. place some oak wood fence around the side of anywhere that you can fall off here that you probably wouldn't be jumping off. Throw some fence around this, or alternatively, something that I did think might look nice is some black stained glass pane instead. Might look a little bit more modern, perhaps a little bit nicer, but it kind of depends on what you're going for. We've just placed one there where we didn't want it, and now we can just jump off this and we can boing, we can jump straight over there, which I think is pretty fun. I kind of like it. And if you want to shape this a little bit more so it kind of like follows the shape of the stairs, then feel free to. That's how it looked originally, but it's kind of up to you, and then I guess you can kind of jump off at like a different altitudes, but that's up to you. However you want to do that, that's completely up to you. That is. So that is the upstairs done. That's the upstairs completely done. Once you've done that, oh, actually, around the stairs, you might feel as though you want to place a little bit of glass. That's the only thing you might want to do. You might want to place some glass around the stairs, just so that it looks a little bit safer. Now, that is the second floor done. That's half of the downstairs done as well. That leaves the other half here of the downstairs. Now, we're going to need a change of materials for this stuff, so I'm going to grab everything we need, and then I'll be back. Okay, so for this next part, we'll need some red hardened clay, some yellow hardened clay, some slime blocks, some grey wool, some grey carpet, some orange wool, and some blue wool. The part that we're going to be tackling next is the part that you, as soon as you walk in, just to the right, it is the immediate thing that you might want to go and take a little bit of a bounce on. So we're going to begin by doing a row of red hardened clay all the way around the inside of the rectangular shape that we have just to the right of us. So do a row of red hardened clay all the way around the inside of this shape. Like that. Boom. What you now want to do is you want to add 2 additional rows of red hardened clay where you have the end wall, the right wall. So do 1 and 2 rows of red hardened clay coming towards you. Take this corner block that is diagonal to the pillar quartz block and do a row of 4 red stained clay coming up from it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You then want to extend this all the way to the front wall, like that. Also extend it all the way over to the right, and connect it down to the corner, like this. What you now want to do is you want to, from either end, do rows of 3 grey wool, 1, 2, 3, and you want to fill all of these in, and you want to do that from the left-hand side and the right-hand side, which they're kind of like in a bend, so it's a little bit weird. You want to do 2 rows like that. Then you want to do a row of red hardened clay directly next to the rows of grey. And then you want to add, starting from this right-hand row of grey, you want to do another row of 3 grey wool, 1, 2, 3, fill it all the way up to the top, then do a row of red hardened clay next to that. Then you can just completely fill this corner in with grey wool. And these are, of course, the side trampolines that you could theoretically, but we can't in these, bounce on them. So they look a little bit like that. That one connects in the corner. What we now want to do is we just want to take where we have the red stained clays come down, like this, where we have the red stained clays come down. You want to take this center end red stained clay between these 2 trampolines and you want to extend it through the floor and cut this area in half. You then want to do 2 rows of red stained clay, 2 on the right here, where each one of the trampolines connect, like are distanced from each other. And you also want to do another row of red here at the end, so you want to take this this very end part and you want to split it into 2. Do a row of yellow hardened clay on top of the row of red hardened clay that you just placed. We now want to fill this end pit in here, this long pit, in with the foam. So that's your blue wool, your orange wool, or whatever concoction of wool you want to use. Like if you went for a completely different color scheme here, I thought a color scheme that would look cool, but maybe a little bit too jokery. Green and purple, maybe you want to use that, yellow and purple, something cool, something like really striking. Fill in that foam bit. Then fill in the rest of the areas with slime block, like this. And also, once you fill them in with slime block, of course, you guys know what you need to do. On top of all of the slime blocks, you just want to add your carpet. So add your grey carpet on top of the slime blocks and everything will be just fine. You can see me doing this here. Won't take too much longer, just got this part to do as well. And there we go, wonderful. And that is the little attraction that you have at the front here, which leaves this part. Now, this part is it's kind of interesting to do. It's not that difficult. It's not actually that difficult to put together. Let me grab everything we need again, and I'll show you what we need to do. So the materials that we'll need for this next part include some block of quartz, some quartz stairs, some quartz slabs, some yellow hardened clay, some blue hardened clay, some slime block, some grey carpet, some cyan hardened clay, and some cyan carpet. Once you have each one of those, you can do this part. So the next part we're going to do is for this next part, we're going to add a row of yellow hardened clay all the way around the inside of the base of this area. So add a row of yellow hardened clay all the way around the base of this area. I think that this area is actually a little bit more square than rectangular. Oh, it is actually a square, or at least it seems to be. We then, on this front corner of yellow stained clay, we want to do a row of 2 block of quartz coming up. That's 1, 2. Place a quartz stairs, an upside down quartz stairs pointing towards the right hand side and towards the back of the warehouse. You then want to, with your quartz slabs, you want to extend those stairs towards the right hand side, and it wants to stop here because we're now going to do 2 more block of quartz here, leaving a gap of 1 between this and the wall, and we're going to make the last slab an upside down stairs like that. We're now going to take the other stairs and we're going to do a row of quartz slabs that extends all the way to the back wall, like so. Now we're going to do a row of block of quartz, or a row of quartz slabs all the way around on top of this, just so that we have a little bit more depth. And then we are just going to do a couple of layers of blue hardened clay behind this. So this wants to come up until it is half a block high in relation to the quartz slabs that we just placed. And it only has to come as far as where you placed the quartz on the right hand side, like that. We're now going to place a row of quartz stairs that come up diagonally. You only need 2 of them here on the right hand side where you have this empty space. This is an easy way to access this area. We're going to place blue hardened clay coming all the way back now to connect to the wall, like that. And we're also going to fill in this small empty gap behind. Now it's time for us to figure out where we want our trampoline. So we have a big trampoline here. It's actually 6x6 blocks. It starts in the corner here where we have the blue hardened clay, and it is a 6x6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a row of 6 because 1 plus 5 is 6. We extend this all the way to the end and we connect it together. We do slime all the way in the center of it, right here, and it's in the corner, remember. We then do grey carpet. I'm on the slime, aren't I? Silly me. I'm fine, good. And then we do grey carpet on the slime block to show that it is nice and bouncy. Wonderful. I'm now just going to fill the rest of this area in with blue hardened clay, and then I'll show you how to build the thing that we're going to be jumping off, because not only is this trampoline, I think, the biggest trampoline. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the biggest single trampoline in the entire trampoline park, but it also has a nice little variable place that you can jump off of. So we're going to do an L-shaped row of cyan hardened clay around the back of this trampoline, like this, like that. Now we're going to add gradients of which we can jump off. So starting from the corner block, we can add a cyan stained clay, and then we can extend it outwards by like 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And then we can add on top of this corner block again, just 1, and then extend it in either direction by 1. And by gradients, I mean, it's kind of like a staircase. Like, now you can choose where you want to jump off onto your trampoline, whether it's just the first stair, whether it's the second stair, or whether it's the third stair, whether you want a nice big bounce and you want to try and get off right off the end. Now just place some cyan carpet on top of this, just to make it look a little bit nicer. And there you have it, guys. That is your trampoline. That is the last trampoline that you had to add to the park. Now, if we have a look around the park, and we'll start with the outside, we can actually see what we've done here, because it's quite impressive, isn't it? So, I'm going to get rid of all these materials. I'm going to walk into the jump zone because I fancy a bounce, and we can see everything that we've done. So on the left here, we have a place that we can buy loads of socks. We actually have to pay our admittance. And if we come around the back here, we actually have lockers that store all of our stuff that we have that we bought with us. We also have a place that we can do our basketball. We did that. We also have this nice little place where we have like these obstacles to jump over and various other trampolines. We have a staircase that takes us up to the second second floor, but that's the boring way to go up, so I'm not going to go up that way. We have this place right here, which we have another obstacle. We have some more different shaped trampolines. I'm going to walk up the stairs here. I'm going to have a bit of a bounce, see if I can clear this obstacle here. But yeah, straight over. First time. All the way over here we have this nice platform where we have the gradient stairs where we can choose different points to jump off. Boom! And you can actually... Oh, we almost managed to get over the edge. I didn't actually land here though. But we can also take the ladders here and we can walk all the way up around up here and we can take a look up on the second floor, and there's plenty of stuff to look at. So in this corner we have a nice little pit where we can, once again, we can jump off, we can land in this nice little square shaped pit. But if we want to jump over some more obstacles, we have this long part right here, so we can take a nice little running jump and boom, straight over. Perfect. And if we ever want to go back down, if you ever want to leave for some reason, don't know why you would, you can go down these stairs, nice safe stairs, and it takes you all the way back to where you first started. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the trampoline warehouse. The trampoline park, whatever you want to call it. I always call it a trampoline warehouse. There you go. Let me take off the UI for this. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. I'd really appreciate it. I spent loads of time on this. I honestly did. I spent loads and loads of time on this, making it right, making it look good. It wasn't easy to do, it really wasn't. Please give it a like. I'd really appreciate it. Comment down below, what else would you like to see me make next? It doesn't have to be a big project like this. It can be small. Let me know down there in the comments. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. If you like stuff like this, subscribe. We'll be doing more stuff like this in the future. Also, if you do make this, follow me on Twitter and show me a picture of it, at TSMC360. I love your pictures, I really do. They're so cool to look at, especially if you build this and you make changes. I love when I see changes to my builds. That is the coolest thing to see. When you guys, you're like, hey, I don't really like what he's done here. I want to see what I can do. I love it when you guys make the changes. It makes all the difference. And if you do want to make the first part of this, if you just skip to the end of this for some reason, remember this is part 2 of 1. There is another part to this. This is part 2 of 1. You can find part 1 in both the card system and the description below. It will show you how to make all of this, the entire jump zone. But you'll also find playlists that will show you how to make an entire city, an entire public park. It'll even show you how to make fantasy builds, like that's the Futurama headquarters, that's Planet Express. We also have a nice little theme park building up over there. And over here we also have even more builds, even a little bit of the suburbs starting to sprout up over there. So check out the playlists, those will be your friends if you want to make all sorts of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember, if you do like this video, give it a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at TSMC360. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.